Welcome back, guys. This is King Weeb there, and this is Legacy chapter 3 to 4, and yes, I found it on Webtoon, and I did check. I'm pretty sure it's an exact replica. I'm not sure if it's the same person did it, Crazy PT. But anyway, also one last thing. Yes, this is a double upload. I shall be starting double uploads daily if I can, from Monday onwards. So this should be the first double upload, or maybe not. Maybe this could be a part of the second double upload on a daily basis. But anyways, disclaimer: I did not own this story again. The actual creator is Crazy PT, but on here it's actually Red Alpha. But anyway, we continue. Oh, chapter 4 for some reason. I'm on chapter 3. Okay. Right. Okay. Chapter 3. Beginning of a legend. In every shinobi village, there is a reminder of their previous leaders and heroes to honor their memory and the and sacrifice they did to protect and defeat their homes. Defense, sorry. In Konoha, there is a certain mountain that shows exactly that. The mountain was actually called leader of the Hokage leader of the Leaf Village mountain, and it was carved. It had carved the previous, current, and the current Hokages of the leaf, and there is stood the faces of the legendary shinobi. I can't read. Senju Hashirama, the first Hokage, leader of the Senju clan, one of the founders of the Leaf Village, and the first of the Mokuton element. So the thing would release was he was a caring and kind person dedicated to serve his village. However, he ended up dying during the first Shinobi War. His fight against Uchiha Madara had taken its toll and left him permanently weakened. He was at the time of his death a shell of his former self. But even now, about 80 years after, one second. Sorry, you might hear background noises, but we move. But even now, about 80 years after his death, he's still remembered by everyone in the village. The second face belonged to Senju Tobirama. He was Hashirama's younger brother and became Hokage after his brother's death. He too was a very strong shinobi. In fact, each of the Hokage was hailed as the strongest shinobi of their time. Tobirama was known for his extreme high water affinity that allowed him to use high rank moves in places without water by condensing the air around him. He too lost his life after fighting in the second Shinobi War. But before his death, he appointed Hiruzen Sarutobi, one of his students, as the Hokage. The third Hokage on the monument was Hiruzen Sarutobi of the Sarutobi clan, known for their monkey summoning and extreme skill in taijutsu, hand-to-hand combat. Hiruzen is currently around 55 years old. He is one of the most powerful shinobi in the village, but in his prime, he was hailed as the god of shinobi. Mostly because of his skill in ninjutsu that allowed him to combine different elements to his attacks. Hiruzen is currently the leader of the Leaf Village after his successor, the fourth Hokage died. Sorry about that. The last face of the monument was Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage. Hailed as the strongest of the Kages, he was also the fastest shinobi to ever live in the elemental nations. Not even the Raikages with lightning armor could compete with him in speed. He was known for his use of the Haraishin no Jutsu, flying Thunder God technique, and a S-rank technique of his creation that allowed him to move almost at the speed of light. This technique was the reason that he was known as the Yellow Flash. By the way, it's not his jutsu, he actually improved the second Hokage's jutsu. We've seen it in filler arcs, like when he gave the finishing blow to Izuna, Madara's brother, which actually pushed him to which pushed Madara to the extreme anyway. Due to his yellow flash, due to his blonde hair, and the only thing that people managed to see was a yellow flash due to his speed. In the Leaf village, he was a hero that sacrificed his life to kill the QB that attacked the village 5 years ago. And here, 5 years later, after the QB attack, is where our story truly begins. With a small boy that, despite being mistreated his whole life, he will rise to become the legend he was born to be. Konoha, 5 years after the QB attack, October 10th. It was a warm night in the Leaf village. The sun was it was a warm night. The sun was just going down. Yeah, sorry. It was straight to dim. Town lights were coming up, and we still could see many people around the village doing their business. Unlike many other villages, even though Konoha would say that it wasn't a shinobi village, however, a mountain that surrounded the north part of the village was a dead giveaway. In it were carved the faces of the most powerful shinobi to ever live. It was October 10th. The village was covered in decorations celebrating the defeat of the QB that attacked 5 years ago. Everyone in the village was happy. It were times of peace. The war were long forgotten, but not the hate and pain of many that were lost. Although everyone seemed happy, one particular kid was very sad and lonely. Uzumaki Naruto was an orphan of the QB attack. He was about 120 centimeters, 3'11", and had spiky blonde hair, the bluest eyes anyone had ever had, and in each cheek he had 3 whiskers. Yeah, a birthmark. He was wearing a white shirt with short sleeves with an orange swirl in the back of his back, and black pants. Despite it's gonna be long. It's a long read. I can't read today. Despite being, despite begin. Whatever. Despite what appeared to be despite begin. What appeared to be a normal child, Naruto was hated and despised by most of the villagers. He was a painful reminder of the Kyubey attack. He was expelled from the orphanage at the age of 4 and lived in the streets for about a month until the Hokage's army found him and took him to the Hokage. The Hokage eventually became a grandfather figure to him. He gave Naruto a small apartment and an allowance to live, but Naruto was constantly pursued by the villagers and constantly abused and beaten. Their stores kicked him out and sold him rotten merchandise, or charged him twice the price. Even in the orphanage, he still received the same treatment. Growing up in this kind of life forced Naruto to mature quickly if he wanted to survive. Because of this treatment, Naruto became a highly intelligent kid that was a rival to Inosuke. He became cold and calculative to everyone except his closest people, and that in his case was simply the Hokage himself and the owners of the ramen stand. Ichiraku Ramen, by the way. His daughter and Ichiraku himself, anyway. Only 3 people cared for Naruto and wondered if he was eating, sleeping, and all sleeping well. During his birthday, things were even worse because the villagers and the few shinobi would gather up to hunt him down like an animal. And here is where we are. A scared kid was running through the streets of Konoha, his best, trying his best to avoid the villagers and shinobi in in hot pursuit. The villagers were shouting, "Die, demon! Get him! Finish what the Hokage started." Naruto wondered what did he ever do to deserve such treatment and harsh life. "Stop, please! What did I ever do to you?" Naruto asked, running as fast as he could, his legs starting to give away. Yeah. "Oh, please! You know very well what you did. You killed my brother and my father," shouted one of the villagers as he threw an empty bottle. "We will finish what the Hokage started and kill the demon," the villagers said as the others support him. Naruto kept running until he looked behind to his pursuers and noticed a couple of them appeared to be tuning medium level shinobi, by the way. It's like the mid rank, there's a Genin, then a Chunin, then a Jonin, but then we have Kage level fighters, but then we have Biju level fighters. But Kage level fighters are usually Biju level, well, unless we're talking about some of them. But anyways, here we go. Even though Naruto was a stamina freak, a 5-year-old couldn't compete with the speed of a Chunin. The Chunin quickly closed the distance between him and Naruto. He took out a kunai and did a horizontal slash. Naruto, seeing the kunai that would most likely kill him, he ducked. He was ducking. He noticed what he as he was ducking. That's a very repeated mistake, but I don't blame him. Happens to me. Not the has, but I repeat the same mistake over and over again. Anyway, like forget one letter at the end of the word. Anyway, as he was ducking, he noticed that time appeared to be slowing down. After dodging the slash, unwillingly, he channeled his chakra to his legs, trying to jump over a fence to get away. The rest of the shinobi, seeing that this, were actually surprised, but they couldn't let the demon get away. So all of them threw a couple of kunai at him while saying kunai kunai shuriken no jutsu, kunai shadow clone, basically. The kunai multiplied to 15 and were going fast at Naruto. What's the time? It's about to be 1 p.m. I have to go out on 2 with my friends anyway. With this hand, okay. React, oh, you shite. Naruto, knowing that he couldn't dodge all of them in mid-air, started observing them and calculating the best way to avoid them. It was then that it happened. His vision suddenly became clearer, and the incoming kunai seemed almost to stop. Just by looking at them, he could see where they would land. Reacting to his instincts, Naruto quickly caught the kunai with his hand and started deflecting all of them except one that managed to pass his defenses and hit his shoulder. He cried out in pain, but managed to get over the fence and to safety. He pulled the kunai out of his shoulder and noticed that the wound was already closing. "I wonder why I'm the only person that heals this fast," he asked himself while walking through the village, hidden in the shadows to avoid the villagers. But he quickly noticed that his vision was different. It was black and white, and could see people with a blue flame inside of them that surrounded their body. He tried to push his eyes. To see better, and he suddenly passed out in the alleyway. The streets and exhaustion of running. The stress and exhaustion of running and taking a kunai to the shoulder was too much. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto awoke and when it seemed to be a sewer, or where it seemed to be a sewer, there were pipes in every wall and floor and the floor was filled with water with about 20 meters in height. 20 centimeters, not meters, 8 inches. He wandered through the endless corridors and wondering where he was when he heard a soft male voice calling him. Follow my voice. The strange voice said. Naruto didn't know, but he was drawn to this voice. After walking a couple of minutes, Naruto found himself staring at a big iron door. At a big iron door with vertical bars. The middle of the door with a small paper and a kunai seal. A kanji seal. Sorry, kunai. What the fuck's wrong with me? He looked at inside the cage, but it seemed empty. Hello there, Naruto, said the voice. Naruto jumped back, surprised, and noticed a man leaning in the sewer wall outside of the cage. Naruto observed the man carefully. The man was about 190 centimeters in height, 6'2". He said, he had spiky blonde hair with two bangs that framed his face and blue eyes, but was wearing a full bodysuit and the standard Jonin flat jacket. He was also wearing a white cape with red flames on it, with kanji saying for Fukage. For Fukage? Asked Naruto. He knew very well what happened 5 years ago. He knew that the fourth Hokage died to kill the Kyuubi. He was a hero. My name is Minato Namikaze. I'm the fourth Hokage, he said, looking at the kid in front of him, and wondered how it happened so soon. Naruto seemed 5 at most. How? You were supposed to be dead. Am I dead too? Naruto asked. No, you're not dead. Unfortunately, I am, Minato replied. But if you are dead, then where am I? And how do you know my name? Naruto wondered what the hell was going on. Naruto, I'm going to explain everything to you. Listen closely, okay? He asked, to which Naruto nodded. He was, we are inside your mind, and this is your mindscape. It's basically a representation of your mind and in physical form. Understand? Naruto nodded. Now the truth is that I'm your father. Naruto froze when he heard that. No, it can't be. Gigi told me that he didn't know who my parents were. Naruto thought, you're my father? How? Naruto asked. About the how. You will find out when you're older. Minato said, chuckling. But it is true. I am your father, and I'm sorry. I wasn't here with you, but I had to stop the Kyuubi. But listen, I don't have much time. You probably wondered why this village treats you like a monster. To which Naruto slowly nodded. Well, it is. Well, there isn't an easy way to say this part. 5 years ago, when you were born, the Kyuubi attacked the village. The full Kage. So that I killed. Wait, what? Sandaime said that I killed the Kyuubi, but that's impossible. The Kyuubi is a mass of chakra without an actual physical body, so it can't die. The only way I had to stop it, the only way I had to stop the Kyuubi was to seal it inside the newborn baby. I'm sorry to say, but I had to seal it into you, he said with a bit of shame, wondering how Naruto would react. What do you mean by sealed? I am the Kyuubi? He asked, now realizing what all the names the villagers called him by. Right. No, you're not. You're neither a monster nor the Kyuubi. You're my son, and by sealed, I mean the Kyuubi is trapped in your gut, behind the bars. The Kyuubi come forward. Minato explained. Suddenly, behind the bars of the empty cage, Naruto saw two glowing red eyes with black vertical slits. As the eyes approached to the doors, he noticed the form of a fox with the tail swinging widely in his back. There it stood behind the bars, the most powerful being in the world, the most powerful of the 9 Biju, the Kyuubi, the nine-toed demon fox. Naruto seeing this, he jumped back scared to see the monster that attacked the village and was responsible for many deaths. No, I had no need to fear me, kid. The the Kyuubi said, watching the poor kid. He knew too well what the villagers did to him. Naruto, Minato said, getting Naruto's attention. This is the Kyuubi, and he's not a demon. He's not the demon everyone thinks he is. The attack 5 years ago was not his fault. Minato said and started explaining what happened that in that fateful night 5 years ago. From when Naruto was born, the masked man unleashing the Kyuubi and controlling the attack, the controlling it to attack the village. Minato we attacked the village to Minato, sealing him into him. Naruto was still frozen, absorbing what happened. Everything his father was saying. Naruto didn't know what to say. It was just too much. Naruto, Minato continued. I'm sorry that I had to seal the Kyuubi into you. You had a harsh life until now, but I trust with this it will be slightly better. Minato said and touched Naruto's stomach, effectively transferring the seal key to Naruto and opening the cage. What are you doing? Naruto asked, worried. His father opened the cage and let the Kyuubi out. Naruto told you. It wasn't the Kyuubi's fault that night. The Kyuubi will help you grow, and he'll be at your side to help you in your battle and provide advice. The only thing I ask you to do asked of you is when you're close to your death that you release the Kyuubi. He didn't deserve to be trapped in a cage behind in a cage to be used as a weapon. Minato said, will you really be my friend? Naruto asked, still a bit fearful of the fox. Of course. I will take care of you and make you strong so you can protect your home and friends. The Kyuubi replied, and what happened next surprised everyone in the mindscape. Naruto suddenly left his father's side and jumped into the pool of the Kyuubi. So soft and warm, he said, getting chuckles from both the Kyuubi and Minato. Now, Naruto, there is more that I need to tell you. I don't know if you realize it, but your vision seemed different. Doesn't your vision seem different? Minato asked. Actually, it's all black and white, with you being blue and the Kyuubi being red. Naruto replied. Naruto, do you know who the Uchiha Madara is? Minato asked, getting disgusted growl from the Kyuubi, clearly showing no love for to the Uchiha leader. Yep, I know. He is one of the founders of the Leaf and was the leader of the Uchiha clan that is supposed to be one of the strongest in the world. Naruto said, surprising his father, explaining Naruto, even though was 5 years old, was very smart and did like to read. But going to the library was impossible as he was always expelled. Raw, 5 more pages. Rascal. Exactly. But what you and anyone doesn't know is that Madara was in fact my father. I never said anything about to anyone because I decided to keep it a secret. Naruto said he said Naruto's eyes widened when he discovered that the legendary Uchiha Madara was his grandfather. I'm the son of the fourth Hokage and the Yellow Flash the Konoha's Yellow Flash and the great Uchiha Madara. There is no way I'm not becoming the Hokage, Naruto thought. Oh shit. Yes, sir. I have no doubt you will, Naruto. Minato said, ruffling Naruto's hair. Now, you know the Uchiha clan have a bloodline, more specifically a dojutsu, right? Naruto nodded. The bloodline is called the Sharingan, and you activate its first level. You activated its first level. Look at the floor. Naruto looked down and saw his reflection in the water. His eyes were blood red, with a black tomoe in each eye. The Sharingan will evolve now until it's fully matured, getting 3 tomoe in each eye. Minato concluded he didn't want to go any further into the Mangekyo. His time was ending, and the Kyuubi could explain if he ever unlocked it. God, I hope he never has to go through that, Minato thought. Oh, I knew I was also, Naruto said, happy about knowing everything about his family and finding he had a bloodline. Now, Naruto, pay attention to what I'm going to say. Minato started. I know that you always wanted a family, but you can't go to the Uchiha clan. Besides having the Kyuubi, he knew which, if they found out that you were an Uchiha, they will use it for their own gain. I want you to be a good person and not an arrogant, power hungry, and like the Uchihas are. Never rely too much on the Sharingan. Remember, the Sharingan is only a tool. Having it doesn't make you all powerful. Okay? Minato asked, getting a nod. Okay, my time is ending. Everything I have included my clan's techniques and weapons in the Namikaze compound, and only you can enter since there is a blood seal around it. Be careful so that no one finds out. I have many enemies, as did Madra. If you ever wish to reveal your true heritage, I ask you to reveal it when you are strong enough to protect yourself and anyone you care about. There are people that would stop at nothing to kill you or your friends and to get revenge at me. Minato said with a bit of regret. After during the third Shinobi War, he was responsible for slaughtering the evil forces. Do you know how to use chakra and deactivate your eyes? He asked, getting a nod from Naruto. I'm fading. My chakra is almost over. Naruto, remember, me and your mother loved you so very much, and I am sorry that you had to live this life growing without love. Minato said, sad. Minato said, sad on how everything turned out. He asked the third Hokage so that he asked the Sandaime so that the village saw Naruto as their hero, but he was too naive. Don't worry, father. I got to meet you after all. You did. Wait, sorry. Don't worry, father. I got to meet you after all you did. What you needed to protect our home. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but anyway. Naruto said, getting a smile from Minato as he faded away until he was no longer standing in front of him. Naruto woke up in the alleyway, wondering if it was all a dream. He heard a voice in his head, no kid, it wasn't a dream. I'm here after all. You should deactivate your eyes for now. Start training. I will help you in every way I can. When when you're old enough, I will train you to use my powers, Takubi said. Thank you. At least I have you with me. And I could use the company, Naruto replied, happy with everything that happened. Who knew that this night would turn out to be his best birthday? You don't need to speak out loud or people will think you're crazy. Just think, I will hear it. Also now that the cage is open, you gain my second ability. You're able to sense people around you, and in time with training you'll be able to sense their feelings. You should tell the Hokage what happened. He will help you, but keep him in the dark about my help for now. The QB said, getting a nod from Naruto as he got up and deactivated his Sharingan and started to make his way to the Hokage Tower. 15 minutes later, the Hokage Tower. Naruto made his way into the Hokage office after arguing with the secretary and threatening her to tell the Hokage that she called him a demon. The reason Naruto never found out the QB is that apparently the Hokage placed an S-rank law that prohibited anyone from telling him that he had the QB in him, and anyone who broke it was subjected to immediate execution. Old man Naruto said, earning a smile from the old Hokage. Happy to see you, Naruto, and getting a break from the Hokage's number of enemy paperwork. Naruto, how are you? Do you need anything? The Hokage asked. Even though the Hokage wasn't actually related to Naruto, he has grown quite close to him and in the last couple of years, treating him like a grandson. I wanted to ask you if you could tell me who my parents are. Naruto asked, messing up with the Hokage a bit before telling him what happened. I wonder how he will react. He thought, I already told you. I'm sorry, but I don't know your parents, who your parents are. All I know is that they're they they are heroes and died in fighting the Kyuubi. The Hokage replied, he couldn't tell Naruto who his parents are. He was too young. Gigi, before I tell why I came here, I tell you why I came here. For wait, Gigi, before I tell why I came here for, can you for can you tell me, there should be a comma there. Can you tell me your aunt? Can you tell your aunt to leave? I only want to tell you this. Naruto said, getting a surprised face from the Hokage. How do you know that the Anbu are in the my throat? How do you know that there are Anbu in the room? He asked. To which Naruto replied, I can sense them above the ceiling. Naruto replied, very well. The Hokage said, with the flick. The Hokage said, and the flick of a hand, signed the four Anbu bodyguards to leave the room. How Naruto want now Naruto. What do you what now Naruto? What do you want to tell me? He asked. Gigi, are you sure you sent them all away? I can still sense another person there. Naruto said, pointing behind the bookcase. Once Naruto said that the four Anbu, that the four Anbu quickly returned and dashed towards the intruder and quickly immobilized it. The intruder had a normal Anbu gear, black pants, and steel plate in the chest for protection. But his mask was completely white with a kanji for root. Damn, that Donzo sticking his nose where he shouldn't. The Hokage thought, Naruto, you're indeed a skilled sensor. You actually caught an intruder that was here. The Hokage said, oh, I knew that he was awesome. I knew that I was awesome. Naruto replied, getting a chuckle from the old Hokage. After the room was empty, Naruto approached the pictures of the previous Hokage and stopped in front of the picture of the fourth. Turning to the Hokage, he said, anything you want to tell me? The Hokage paled when Naruto asked him, how did you find out? The Hokage was wondering how Naruto found out. Very few people knew Minato was his father. Now that I think about it, I could almost be his twin. I wonder how no one ever noticed. Naruto said and started explaining everything that happened, leaving the Kyuubi helping him out. Leaving out the Kyuubi helping him being Madara's grandson, and him having the Sharingan. Minato really was was a genius. To think even dead, he gives me a headache. The Hokage thought, now that you know, what are you going to do? You know that you can't tell anyone. The Hokage asked, I'm going to train, become strong like my father. My father was, and then I'm going to take that how it feels. Naruto replied, getting a chuckle from the old Hokage, to which he said, I have no doubt you will. Chapter 4. How long have I been recording? That was quite a long recording, can't lie. Still 33 minutes already. Rasclar. I'm getting text messages and shit. Let me see who's texting me. This is actually very long. 10 pages. This is actually shorter than the other one, because I remember that one being... You know what? One chapter a day, because it's actually kind of long. And Ratreet wants to talk to me. Actually, let me call him now. And I'm going to be like, say hi to the recording. Hold up. If he answers, innit? He told me to call him. Hey, yo, broski. Say hello. I'm recording.
Hello.
Alright, calm. So, yeah, that's it for today. One chapter a day, innit? Well, 2 chapters since I'm uploading twice, innit? But anyways, hope you all enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, and peace.